Hey guys, before we dive into today's episode, we have something really special that we want to share with you. It is a modern aesthetic workbook and ebook template. Now, this template is for anyone who's looking to create ebooks, guides, or workbooks for their audience. It is filled with everything that you need, beautiful photos, and all you have to do is change out the text to match what you're offering to your customers. Now, if you're ready to get started today, go ahead and click the link down in the description. And now let's get to this episode. All right, Yolanda, welcome to the Girl Take Note podcast. How are you?
Good, I'm good.
Good. Listen, I'm excited about learning one about rolling ice cream. Never heard of it before. Looks absolutely delicious, right? And two, just your story, because I feel like your story is unique. Like you've been acting, you had some other businesses you've done before, and now you just like the ice cream queen, right? So let's get into kind of give us your story, your background in terms of like how did you start your entrepreneurial journey?
I started my entrepreneur journey selling bathing suits, just doing it for fun as like a side hustle.
Yeah.
Stopped that really quickly. Then I started selling shoes. I did that for about a year or so. Nothing really stuck to me, but my love for ice cream, and I just wanted to do something where I could be more hands-on.
Mhm.
And that's how Rollin Frozen came about.
That's so good. Like, it's so funny that you went from selling bathing suits to shoes to like, you know what? And I'm gonna tell you something. We all are passionate about food. Okay. We all love food. Everybody loves it. And everybody loves a good ice cream, a good dessert. And so it's so good to see. It's so funny to see that you went from trying to do those type of businesses and jump right into the whole ice cream thing. Let me ask you this. When you decided to do Rollin Frozen, did you initially say, okay, it's going to be an ice cream truck, like, or did you think you were going to have an actual location?
So I started out wanting an actual location, but then it weighed like the pros and cons, like food truck and brick and
Yeah.
mortar. And the food truck was less overhead, it was less money involved, so I went with that route.
Yeah, I think a lot of people find, and I think that's why like online businesses and stuff like that is becoming a lot more successful because that traditional brick and mortar can be so, like you said, have such a high overhead cost that I know so many people that have food trucks. Like I have friends down in Florida that have like barbecue trucks and different types of things. They just feel like it's so much easier for them to manage. And then it gives them an opportunity to connect more with their customers than they can do in an actual location. Do you feel like that too?
Yes, yes. So the difference that I recognize in having a food truck versus a brick and mortar, because location is so important in business. If you're at a location with a brick and mortar and it doesn't work out, you have to stay there and make it work. With a food truck, if the location doesn't work out, you can move wherever works for
Yes.
you.
Yes. And I think that is so awesome that it's mobile and that you can move wherever the location works for you. So now when it comes to moving location, do you have to have like permits to move and set up in certain places? Because I've noticed that a few of my friends felt like, I guess, certain really hot spots, you got to have permits to be in certain location. Is that true with all locations or just certain ones?
So certain locations require permits. Of course, the most busier locations, like in center city, downtown areas, will require certain permits. You really have to just like do your research and like literally find the location that works.
Okay. Yeah. And so let's talk about Rollin Frozen. And because I want to know, when you decided to do this business, did you think, okay, you knew it was going to be ice cream, but did you think it was going to be rolled ice cream? And if you did, how did you even come into the whole thing of rolled ice cream?
Oh, good question. So I know for sure I wanted to do ice cream. I didn't start with raw ice cream at first, to be honest.
Hmm.
Um, when I seen like YouTube videos and just scrolling through social media apps, and I came across raw ice cream. I'm like, this is so different. I wanted to do something out of the ordinary, not scoop ice cream, not the like the soft serve ice cream. I wanted it to be different. So when I came across raw ice cream, I'm like, oh, I'm doing this. So that's really how it came about.
And that is so unique. I don't know. I don't know too many other places that, I mean, like even major chains that do rolled ice cream. And like when I told people that I was doing this episode with you and I was like, you know what? She do rolled ice cream. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, have you ever seen it? And so I sent them over to your website and to your pages because I'm like, it's really fascinating to know that we can do that with ice cream, right? And it stays. And two, I just think that the way you present it, it looks so appetizing. Like I'm a big girl that's on like appetizing. Things look appetizing. My mom was big about that. It's all about presentation. And if you present it well, it's just like, it's everything for me. Right.
Yes.
So what made you decide to kind of like the way you present your ice cream is, I think is different as well too. It's not really like anyone else does their ice cream. What made you decide to present it the way you do?
Well, that's how other roll ice cream businesses that I've done my research on, like
Hmm.
they have, our people, anybody, we eat with our eyes first. So we have to make it
Yes.
look good. We can't just be throwing stuff around and making ice cream. No, you got to make it look good. So just doing my research, seeing other ice creams, ice cream businesses do the same thing. I said, I can do it too.
I know that's right. You just had that goal. I can do this regardless.
Ye-
Did you always think that you was going to be an entrepreneur? Because I know you had other businesses, but did you always, was entrepreneurship always your goal?
No, honestly, it was not. It really was. I honestly, okay, so me, when I first was born, as you read my bio, I was
Hmm.
in the movie Philadelphia, right? So
Yes. One of
knowing
my
that growth,
faves.
it is.
One of my faves.
I
What? Yes.
honestly, I seen the movie, but honestly, I watched me and then I turned it off. I'm like, oh,
It's
that's
a
me, and then I
really
turned it off.
amazing
I
movie.
know,
But go
I
ahead.
do know what
Yes.
it's about, but yeah.
Yeah.
So knowing that growing up and everybody like, that's the movie star, that's the movie star. I always knew that I was destined to be great and do something. Did I know
Yeah.
exactly what it was? No. I really kind of like got my entrepreneur spirit from my husband. He's been,
Hmm.
doing in the entrepreneur space for a long time. And, so he was kind of like my motivation behind being an entrepreneur, to be honest.
That's good. That's good that you had like an in-house like example. You know what I mean? Because a lot of time people make intentional leaps and some people make unintentional leaps, meaning like life happens, hardship, they gotta find a way to make things work in their life. And so that's good. I always want to know that, like that question in terms of like where the entrepreneur spirit come from. So it's good to know that you had a husband who kind of inspired you to do so. And I'm pretty sure he kind of helped you navigate the journey of entrepreneurship because there's a lot of highs and lows, and I know you experienced some. So, kind of tell us some of the things you kind of went through on the road of building Rollin
Oh
Frozen.
Lord. Lord, yes. She
Because
wasn't
people
lying.
think it's easy. People will look at what you're doing and feel like, oh, well, I can go get me a food truck and I can just do exactly what she did. People don't know all the intricate details. And I'm not saying you got to go through every piece, but people don't understand like the journey. People just see the end product.
Yes. So, Lord, I'm trying to think where to start because honestly, it wasn't easy, like at all. I wanted to give
Yeah.
up 1,000 times. Seriously, I'm not even going to lie
Hmm.
to you. I don't even want to paint the picture like entrepreneurship is like all glitter and gold because
Yeah.
I'm not just want to do that. But like I said before, like location is extremely important. So
Hmm.
it's been plenty of times where I wasn't at the right location for my food truck, so I was not getting um the business that I thought I would because
Yeah.
I'm like, how am I not selling ice cream? My ice cream, it looks good and it tastes good. Like, and I know, like, if you look at the reviews on Google, like, everybody comes to me
Hmm.
about my reviews. Like, I seen reviews. That's why I came here and stuff like that. So, um, like finding that perfect location has been the biggest challenge for me. One of the biggest challenges, anyway. Especially because I came from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, we experience all 4 seasons. So, I'm here in Florida now. And Florida, it's hot pretty much all year round. It gets cold
Yes.
from time to time, but it's hot pretty much all year round. And so I thought because it's hot all year round, me and my husband would travel to Florida all the time, and people will be like, you should come to Florida. Like, you have ice cream, like you would do so good here. So I thought it was just that easy. Okay, move my food truck here, bam, I could just sell my ice cream. It'll be that easy. No. I've had so many challenges from being here. Came here last year in 2023. It was not easy. I was at a location, didn't do well at all. So I took a step back for a little bit. I
Yeah.
thought I would just give up. Honestly, I was just willing to like quit. And
Yeah.
and then something told me like, just find something else. Like just, keep going. And I did. I ended up finding the location where I'm at right now. And business has been the best out of all the years I've been in business.
Yeah. That's good. You're right. One would assume that being in Florida, it's hot all the time. I'm originally from Florida, born and raised, Fort Lauderdale. That is hot all the time. That, yeah, an ice cream truck would work. A food truck with selling ice cream would actually work anywhere. And so that's interesting to know that, you was choosing location, but it wasn't actually working until you found that perfect location. So that's probably one of the biggest challenges, I think, maybe with starting a food truck of any business is location. But the
Yes.
fact that you're mobile and can move is helpful.
Yes. Very, very, very helpful.
Yeah,
Even
definitely.
even being here in Florida, I'm gonna use yesterday as an example. It's extremely hot. I think we're going through like a heat wave or something
Yeah.
like that right now.
Yeah.
Business was bad yesterday because and Sundays
Really?
are my best days. Sundays are my best days in business. I make the most money on Sundays in business. Yesterday it was like nobody was coming outside. It was extremely hot.
Oh,
So
yeah.
um you gotta like take all of that into account like when you're
Yeah.
thinking about, business. Like, it's hot here in Florida and yes I sell ice cream, but because I have a food truck, people don't want to just get out and get out of their cars and
Yeah.
um
Income. Are
yeah,
there
so
certain times of the year where business is better than others? Where are there so? Because I know in Florida, because like I said, I'm from Florida, and I know in Florida there's a certain time of the year, I can never remember when it is since I moved away, where the weather is really nice and it's like a breeze, but it's not too hot, but it's hot, but it's not too hot, and it's comfortable enough to be outside. But I can't remember what that time of the year is. So is there a certain time of the year where you seem to make where your revenue is higher in one month, one season than it is another?
So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say the springtime is the best time for
Mm,
me. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's nice
yeah.
outside. People like to be outside. They just came off from
Yes.
winter time, so everybody want to come out and get ice cream. So spring is the best time for me anyway.
Yeah. What inspired the move from Philadelphia to Florida?
Ooh, good question. That's another good question. Um, I would say traveling. So my husband and I, we would travel a lot. We travel a lot, but Florida, it was always cheaper to travel to Florida. We would travel all different parts of Florida, and
Hmm.
especially like in the Disney area because it's one of the most popular areas
Yep.
to travel to. So I always told my husband like I want to get like a second home here or something. I want to move here. Like I was tired of like Philadelphia, honestly.
Yeah.
Just a lot. I'm from Philly. I love Philly, but I have kids. I wanted them to grow up in a different environment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just knowing that and having the ice cream truck, I'm like, that kind of pretty much inspired me to just go all out.
Yeah. That's a big change because, like you said, Philly gets all the seasons. Did
Yes.
the ice cream business do well in Philly? Or did you have the ice cream business while you were in Philly? Or did you start there when you got to Florida?
Oh no, so I started in Philly. It did
Hmm.
okay. The events are always, the best for business.
Hmm.
Here and in Philadelphia, to be honest, the events are where you're going to make the most money.
Yeah.
So it did okay, but I knew it would do better here.
Yeah. Definitely. Are there other places in Florida like Miami, Fort Lauderdale? They have a lot of other little hot spots there. Do you ever get opportunity to travel to those places and maybe for events and kind of set up and do well in those locations as well?
I have had people reach out to me from actually
Yeah.
recently someone in Fort Lauderdale tried to hire me for an event, a birthday party. Because it wasn't enough, like I think the event maybe was for about 30 people. It wasn't
Yeah.
worth the time and to just travel. I think
Yeah.
it's about 3 hours away. So it just wasn't worth it. If it
Hmm.
was like a big event where I know like, okay, this event is going to make me some money, then yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to go wherever the money is. I'm gonna be honest with you. Wherever the money
Yeah.
is, somebody book me, I'm going. Yes. So,
Yeah.
but I would
That's,
love to go to Miami and do a job. Fort Lauderdale. I would love to go.
oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely because I know there's a really great places in Tampa is also another really good spot too.
I love Tampa.
Yeah.
I
I
love
love Tampa
Tampa.
too. It's really nice. I thought it was interesting that you also are known for like your hands-on with STEM classes for young people. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because how does that? It's such a different when it comes to STEM and ice cream rolling. So how does that actually correlate? What are your initiatives with that?
Okay, so our STEM classes, we teach children the science behind rolled ice cream, from the chemistry of
Mm.
freezing to the physics of rolling, all while they enjoy, a delicious treat. And so that has been one of my
Wow.
favorite things to do in business, honestly. Working with the kids, I've been working with the Girl Scouts of Southern and Central New Jersey, and
Mm-hmm.
we've been working for about a month. I had about maybe like 7 or 8 classes with them, and it's been the best. I can really say it's so refreshing. Like the kids, just watching the kids, they just enjoy. Honestly, they really enjoy the ice cream. But
Of
just
course.
yeah, they
That's
just
the
be
main
so
perk.
yes, because they can't wait. Can I have more? And like it's just so
Yeah.
refreshing. It just warms my heart just working with the kids. They're so kind. They after the
Hmm.
class they get a certificate of completion. So it's just oh my God, I love doing it. I can't wait to be booked for more STEM classes because that's honestly my favorite thing to do. Honestly.
You know what's so funny? When you think about ice cream, you don't think about the science behind it. You really
You
don't.
don't.
You think
You don't.
about you don't even think science even especially because we just love it. So we don't even think science is even associated with it. But you're right. It's the freezing and certain temperatures. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That is so cool. Like I've never thought about that before. And that's absolutely amazing that you have that mindset where you're like, there's a science behind this. And I think a lot of kids would be interested in knowing how to actually make this
Yes.
and know the business of it and being able to learn from someone that's successful like you, and I think that's so cool. I never thought about that before, like at all.
Yes.
So I'm,
Yes.
I'm glad you did that. Let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you this question earlier. Did you think when you did your acting gig in Philadelphia, did you think acting was going to be your career? Or did you say, yeah, this is just a little one and done kind of thing for me?
First of all, I wish I was an actor for really. Um, yes, I tried like I think when I turned 18, I took acting classes in Philadelphia.
Mhm.
Kudos to actors and actresses. It's not easy at all. I tried, it was not easy. And I still want to pursue it. Honestly, I do. Like on my
Yeah.
bucket list, working with Denzel Washington as an adult is on my bucket list for sure. I hope
Yeah.
one day I'm gonna pray, I'm gonna say a prayer. I don't know. But yes, I did think that I would be an actress. I did.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, it didn't work for me at the moment,
Hmm.
but I'm not going to take that off my list. Like, I would love to, even if it was like a one off thing, like if I could work with Denzel Washington, it would be an honor.
Oh,
Seriously.
yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, in a lot of our eyes, you are an actress because you work with the greats, like two of the greats. So you are that, honestly, and it's just a manifestation. So I believe in it all, and you put it out there, and you know what? It's definitely going to come full circle for you, and you won't have it again. Um, Let me ask you this too: with your past two business that you started, the shoe business, swimsuit business, are there any experiences that you learned from those businesses that help you in your current business with Rollin Frozen?
Hmm. Um,
Yeah, are there anything that you probably learned from there to say, hey, you know what? I know I won't do this again from that, and I'm gonna make sure I do it differently in this business.
I guess like dealing with customers.
Yeah.
I feel like, although I do feel like when I sold the shoes and the bathing suits, everything was more local. A lot of people locally was
Hmm.
buying things from me. But I have learned to just like dealing with customers, I would say is extremely hard. But I
Yeah.
have learned to be like I'm trying to think, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Maybe more
Customer service.
patient, I
Yeah,
guess.
more patient. That's the word I was looking for. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Being more patient has definitely something I've taken from, selling bathing suits and shoes.
Yeah. Because I would think that because most businesses, like if a customer is not happy, right, with a product, they complain online. They call customer service. But in your business, being right there on location, dealing with customers every day, how do you handle if a customer is not so happy with the product? Like, how do you handle that situation?
I'm gonna be 100% honest, and you probably won't believe this, but I don't really get customers that complain. Like I'm
I mean, you
like
shouldn't because his ice cream is delicious and it's
honestly,
presented well. So
listen.
why they would?
So, so the most that has happened, I'm going to say, like in Philadelphia, I had people walk up to my truck and they may have looked at my menu and they may have said like, "Oh, you don't sell strawberry ice cream or you don't have coffee ice cream," and then walk off. But they really haven't. That's it. Like it's nothing I can say or do. Like it's nothing. But
Yeah.
here in Florida, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't had one bad customer here. Everybody is so sweet. They leave the best reviews. They love the ice cream.
Hmm.
They love the customer service. So knock on wood, but I haven't really had any bad customers, to be
That's
honest.
good. That's really good. Like I said, why would they? It's ice cream. It makes you happy anyway. So they shouldn't
And
complain. How do you balance, you're a mom, you're an entrepreneur, you're a wife, you got all these hats you're wearing, you're doing the STEM program, you're a traveler, author, all these different things, all these different hats that you wear. How do you balance everything to make sure that one, you still have your own mental peace?
Oh, that's a good question because guess what? Don't even have the answer for it because it's extremely hard. Like, I
I
want to talk
know it
about this. I
is.
do. I really want to talk. I'm glad you asked me that because it's extremely hard. When I see people do it like with such grace and just
Yeah.
they make it look well, I be going through it, okay? Because I'm so serious. I really want to be transparent. I don't want people to watch this episode and think that just everything is just like amazing.
Yeah.
It's really not. You're going to go through these hard periods. I'm just looking at the light at the end of the tunnel. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's the only thing I just have. I just pray and I just really hope that I make it as far as I want to make it. But it's really hard, like especially with myself and my husband. We both are entrepreneurs. He
Yeah.
is really based in Philadelphia. I'm pretty much based here in Florida.
Yeah.
Although we're both back and forth, it's extremely hard. I have two kids, and my youngest son is one. He'll be two in a few months, but
Oh, yeah.
whew,
Yeah.
he drives me crazy. I love him so much, but I'm like, whoo, son, it's hard to get work done. It's
I
hard to get work
know.
done. So it's extremely hard. I stress a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not even gonna lie to you. My mood swings are up and down. Um,
Hmm.
and it's hard. It's really hard. I'm gonna be
I know it
honest.
is. I know it is. And a lot of people talk about that. And that's why a lot of people stress the importance of like those self-care days, that mental relaxation days, because
Yes.
it can be stressful. And there is no real balance when you're a mom and you're a wife and you're trying to be an entrepreneur and you got all these responsibilities and everything. And then sometimes we feel like, okay, I feel like I'm failing in certain areas. You know what I mean? Like not failing, but I'm just not being as great as I like to be. So I'm
Yes.
just gonna have to suck it up and deal with it, basically.
That's
Because
exactly what
everything's not
happens.
gonna get done. For me too, I try to manage my time the best I can. Especially with summer, kids are home, doing all kinds of stuff. Even with doing this, I'm, also looking like, don't you come down here. Don't you dare come down here. So it's just all those different things. So I completely understand. I think a lot of my listeners will relate to that too, because a lot of them are moms and a lot of them work full time too. And some are wives and just have real relationships. And it is hard to balance. So I appreciate that honest answer.
Yes.
That's a real
Yes.
answer.
It is. I'm telling you, it's real.
I know it
It's very real.
is.
Whew.
What do you see? Not what do you see, but what gets you most excited about Rollin Frozen?
Honestly, my customers. My
Mm-hmm.
customers makes me like the feedback. Like when people come to my ice cream truck and they're like, I'm not even just saying this, but this is the best ice cream I ever had. The best compliment in the world because
Yeah.
it's millions of ice cream shops, not just Roll ice cream. It's millions of ice cream shops all over the world. So it's also the area I'm in is a tourist area. So I have a lot of tourists that comes to my truck.
Yeah.
They from all over, and they tell me like this is the best ice cream I ever had. They will come like if they're here for a week, they'll be at my truck 3 times during their stay, and they'll be like, "We had to come back. I brought my husband here. I like literally like the customers was keep me going. The customers are what
Yeah.
keeps me going. Just
How
like
were
with the
you
STEM class.
able?
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just about to say, just like with the STEM classes, the kids they are
Oh
what keeps me
yeah.
going.
Yeah. I know that too. How are you able to secure a location like close to Disney? Because that's really like a hot spot. So how are you able to secure that location?
Honestly, just research out driving
Mm-hmm.
past. Actually, I met another entrepreneur here. She has a soul food restaurant. I literally just did a
Mm-hmm.
partnership with her last month for Juneteenth. She told me about this location, so I rode past it. I went out to talk to the other food truck owners, and they told me to call the number. I called it, and they didn't have anything available at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I think like the next month they told me that they had an available spot, and I was like, oh yes, I'm going to jump on this right now. So that's really how it happened. I
That's good. So where you are, there are other food trucks too.
Yep. I'm the only dessert
Oh.
truck, only ice cream truck. Everybody else sells like Italian food, Venezuelan food, Puerto Rican food.
Oh, that is prime real estate
Yeah.
to be the only dessert truck, period. Like, I mean, where else they gonna go? Once they eat all that, they need something else after that.
Rollin Frozen.
Exactly. What do you see? What are your future plans for Rollin Frozen? Where do you want to see it go?
Oh, I got a lot of plans. So honestly, I
Yeah.
want to get more food trucks, or I'm gonna say trailers. I want to have more
Hmm.
food trailers all over. I want Rollin Frozen. Like I want everybody to know Rollin Frozen. Like how McDonald's is, I want that
Yes.
Rollin Frozen to be.
Yeah.
So I want food trucks. I want stores. I'm hoping and praying that I can honestly, because I'm close to Disney, I want to be in Disney. Like some way,
Oh
Disney has a
yeah.
lot of different. They have a lot of different parks and things. I don't care
Yeah.
where. Disney would be like a dream come true, honestly.
Oh no.
So
That would be the ultimate location to
yes,
be inside
the
of
ultimate.
Disney.
You have
Yeah.
it there.
That
Yes,
would be it
I
right
would.
there. That would be like your gold mine, honestly.
Yes, yes,
Hmm. Um, when you craft roll ice, like it's to me, it's an art. The way when I looked on your site and look at how you do it, kind of walk us through like your process. Like, how do you develop your different flavors and what you sell? How do you develop the whole presentation itself?
yes. Okay, so I start with the vanilla base. I call it liquid ice cream because literally when it freezes, it's ice cream. So I just like to
Hmm.
call it liquid ice cream. So we put the vanilla base on the cold plate. And honestly, the beauty of roll ice cream is that you can create any kind of ice cream however you want. You can put anything inside the ice cream as you would like. So I literally created my flavors based off of things I like, and then I get my
Mm.
customers' feedback. I meant my yeah, I would say my customers' feedback. So I would ask them like on social media, hey, what flavors would you guys like to see? And they'll give me feedback and I'll go from there. And I can literally, like I said, I can create anything. So if they're saying they want banana pudding, oh, I can create that. Bananas, vanilla wafers, I chop everything up. It freezes on the cold plate. Well, I spread it out, it freezes, and then I roll it up, and then you just dress it, with the whipped cream, and I crush vanilla wafers on top and put caramel drizzle on it, and voila.
Listen, it's an art form. Did you have to learn? Did you always know how to make ice cream, or did you like, oh, I have to go and learn how to make this because I don't even know how to make ice cream and deal with all this stuff?
Yes, I had to learn. So obviously, social media is where I started,
Yeah,
but I'm a hands-on learner, so I
yeah,
had to get in the field. So I did some research. I found a roll ice cream shop in Virginia. I didn't want to step on their toes because I knew I was going to open in Philadelphia, so I went somewhere
yeah.
like 4 or 5 hours away, and I
Hmm.
took a class in Virginia. And once I took the class, I'm like, oh, I can do this, and that's how it happened.
I mean, this is like an amazing story. Like seriously, because you don't see too many people in this business, right? I get a lot of entrepreneurs on this show and none of them been in this business. None of them. And that's why I was excited to have this episode because one, I love ice cream and I just thought it was just so interesting, to see rolled ice cream. Like I can definitely do you think one day Brick-and-Mortar will be a part of your brand? Or do you feel like maybe the food trucks would probably just be it?
So I love the food trucks. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely never shying away from the food trucks because, I need to be where the money is, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yes, I really do want to have a brick and mortar. Honestly, I want to have a drive-through brick and mortar because I just think it's so
Hmm.
important. Just from experience, like people love convenience. So just how we go to the McDonald's, the Chick-fil-A's, and all of that because we don't feel like getting out the car. We go through that drive-through. It's people that really want ice cream but just may not want to get out the car. So come
Yeah.
on around. So I would love to have honestly, I would love to have a drive-through Rollin Frozen everywhere. Um, yeah, so that's really on my list of things to do. I have these things written down, and I'm going to make it happen one way or another. I don't
I
care if
know
it take
you
me
are. You sound like
10
you are.
years.
Listen.
I don't care if it take me 10 years. I'm deep in this right now. Before I still think about quitting sometimes, but I know I'm not. I think it's just sometimes I just get overwhelmed. But I
Yeah.
want to taking Rollin Frozen to the moon.
No, you
Everybody,
are.
the people that don't know about it, they want to know about it. I see it, and I see my competitors. I see, but I don't feel like nobody is doing what I'm doing, and
I don't think so either.
I just don't. I don't like. I don't see. I see. I have seen other ice cream businesses teach like classes inside their shop, but the STEM classes that I'm doing, I haven't seen anyone do it. They might take it now, but
Yeah.
they might
But you're the
they might
you're the
try to
leader
take
in the
it.
industry
The
though.
leader of the
You're on the
pack.
front.
Yes.
You are on the
Yes.
forefront of it.
Yes.
I listen, I love it. Do you ever think you'll do like a tour? Because I think about Slutty Vegan and how Slutty Vegan
Oh,
do like their little food tours sometimes.
that's
Do you think you'll probably do a Rollin Frozen tour where you come
honestly,
to
I
different
would, I
cities?
would love to. Yes,
Yeah.
actually, thank you for that. I'm going to actually write that down because
Yes.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
guess
I
I
would
could definitely because
love.
I don't know any place that does what you do. So I think it would be awesome to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, I think that's something. Maybe I'll consider doing that next year. I need to plan for it,
Yeah.
but
Oh yeah, yeah,
a tour would be amazing.
yeah.
Actually, that's something I'm thinking I'm going to do. Thank you for that. I'm going to credit you for that
Yeah.
too because yeah, I have seen Pinky Cole. That's my girl.
Yeah.
She inspires me so much. I met her. I went to her American sesh a few months ago.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yes,
I
I get
think
a
that would
lot
be
of
great
tips from
too.
her too. But I'm glad you brought that up because honestly, yes, a tour is going to
A
happen for
tour would
Rollin
be
Frozen.
absolutely amazing with Rollin Frozen. One
Yes.
more question before we go ahead and end this show. What advice would you give to like any aspiring entrepreneur who may want to start their own food truck business or dessert business? What advice would you give them?
Okay. I would tell them my advice to anybody that want to be an entrepreneur, period, is to do your research. Do your research first. Find your target audience. Make sure you have
Mm,
everything. Make sure you have all your ducks in a row. When I say ducks in a row, finances, like I said, target audience.
hmm
What else I want to say? I would say build genuine relationships and connections with people because people have helped me along the way. Like I didn't know if
Yeah.
I opened up a food truck, someone helped me. Someone that had a food truck helped me open my food truck. So I would say
Yeah.
do your research, build genuine connections. Don't give up. I know people say that all the time, but literally, like if you literally keep going, you will win. You will. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people give up because they have hard times, and literally that was me. But honestly, I'm glad that I didn't give up. If you keep going, like just think of the life that you want for yourself.
Yes.
You can do it. Anybody can do it. It's not going to be easy, and I'm not going to act like it's easy. It's not going to be easy, but if you keep going, if you are watching this and you're trying to open up any kind of business, do your research. Keep going. Go.
Keep
Like
going.
don't stop. Just keep going. You will make it. If you keep going and you keep being consistent, consistency is why I am where I am today because I wasn't consistent before. But the moment I became consistent is where I started seeing money. So I would say just be consistent.
That is such, listen, that was such good advice, Yolanda. I appreciate that because listen, that even speaks to me. You know what I mean? Even on my own journey, like it gets hard sometimes and just to stay and keep going. Cause sometimes you do feel like, oh God, I don't even want to do this no more. Like you feel, yeah,
All
sometimes,
the time.
but I love that advice you just gave to keep going. If you stay consistent, it will definitely work out for you and it will pay off in the end. So I
Absolutely.
appreciate that. Thank you so much for being on the show, Yolanda. This has
Thank
been
you for
really good.
having me. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me. I'll enjoy this
Yes,
time with
of
you.
course. Of course. Listen, and when you go on that tour, I got to bring you back on here. Okay.
Yes,
So we
yes,
can
I would
talk
love
about
to.
it more. All right,
Yes.
guys. I am Shawnee Sanders. This is the Girl Techno Podcast, and I will talk to you next time.